What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. So we're going to focus in on probably the most surprising news so far of the offseason. The Leafs have chosen to retain Randy Carlyle. No, it's not a joke. I'm as dumbfounded as you are. And, I'm not totally big on the Corsi. I should be. I really should be. I know how it works. I should pay more attention to it. But according to Corsi and, basic stats, the Leafs were bad. I mean, you think about it. They fired Cronin. They fired Cronin, the former coach at Northeastern. They fired one of the other assistants. Ryan was obviously going to get shown the door. Carlyle stays, and unless there's major work to revamp that defense, it's like, really? Brendan Shanahan was a hell of a player, hell of a hockey mind, but unless he can do some sort of Jesus Christ turn water into wine type ritual with this team, nothing's going to change. And Carlyle going to take a good hard look at himself and how he coaches his team. Tighten up defensively. But, I think a lot of it's the team was built flawed. The team is flawed in its fundamentals and how it was assembled. The goalies too often were hung out to dry. I think I read a statistic. Leafs goalies had the same save percentage as the St. Louis Blues goalies, or they'd faced like 1,500 more shots. I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. And, those goalies, should be up for, PTSD or, the amount of shots received every single night. I think Charlie Sheen at happy hour saw those shots, which that joke sucked. I shouldn't have used it, but hey, is what it is, to quote the great Bill Belichick. But, I would have liked to have seen the Leafs go after, a Barry Trotz or even a Kevin Dineen type, but obviously stick with Carlyle. And again, I like Carlyle, and I've said it ad nauseum. I don't believe in putting all the blame on the shoulders of the coach. That's not fair to the coach. The players have to be held accountable, as does the front office, the general manager, president of the team, all that. So, the players, I don't think, did their job as well as they should have for the most part. Phil Kessel, had an amazing season. The goalies were great. The injuries kind of bit him in the ass. And, David Clarkson, yeah, no comment. But, yeah, we know how bad he was. And, if you're going to spend that money more responsibly, address the issues on defense, maybe brought in a better defensive-minded forward, maybe that things are different this year, and they make the playoffs. But them and Colorado both overachieved considering the amount of shots they're giving up, and neither one really had a true number one defenseman. All due respect to Dion Phaneuf and Eric Johnson, but Colorado, you can look at and say they're a young up and coming team. It's to be expected, but the Leafs are just it's just, you think about a year ago, they're up 4-1 in the third period of Game 7 against, the perennial favorite Boston Bruins. And, it's like, wow, hockey's really going to be back. Not that hockey never won in Toronto. The Leafs are back on the hockey map. And then the collapse happens. They got off to a good start this season, and they absolutely come apart at the seams. What are you going to do? But, hopefully for the sake of the fans, and I think, again, the Leafs have some of the best and most passionate fans in all of hockey, something's done to rectify the situation. And Randy Carlyle takes a look around and says, what do we have to do to keep this team, to improve this team, and make it a perennial playoff team and not just a once in a while, all right, maybe we'll make the playoffs, maybe we won't, but we'll see what happens with that. But, again, it's got to be some give and take. You can't just put it all on the coaching staff. And again, I'm not advocating. I don't think you should blame the coach at all times, but I think this would have been a good situation for both sides to move on. But hey, what do I know? Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.